The Honourable Member Nikki Wagner.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I'm delighted to support this Sub-Antarctic Islands Marine Reserves Bill at its first reading, and I absolutely agree with the Honourable Phil Goff that it's great to see these marine reserves being created, particularly when they're in such a distinctive area which has been recognised by the World Heritage. The Local Government and Environment Select Committee is very keen to get on with this work. We have done a lot of work in marine protection already this year with the EEZ bill, and it's the beginning of a whole tranche of legislation with the new Marine Reserves Bill to be introduced next year. While we're listening to submissions on the EEZ bill, we learned how much New Zealanders care about the sea. Not that we actually had to be told. All New Zealanders seem to be connected. We come from an island, huge sea masses around us. We like to look at the sea, we like to sail on the sea, we like to swim and dive and surf in the sea. So it's particularly important that we get our marine protection right. And the National Government absolutely supports that. We have a proud history of marine protection. We passed the original Marine Reserves Act in 1971, and that established the first marine reserve at Cape Rodney in 1977. So it was the beginning of a whole list of things that have come up to this day. Since we've been in government, we have announced 9 new marine reserves, which is a dramatic increase on what was there before, and I think it's about another 36% of protected areas. Now, once these marine reserves are gazetted, 9.4% of the New Zealand's territorial seas will be protected by marine reserves, and I think that's something we can all be proud of. But I really like to focus on these particular reserves. They surround the islands, the Antipodes Islands, Boundary Islands and Campbell Islands. Those are islands way down south, about 800 kilometres southeast of Stewart Island, Rakiura. Nobody lives there at the moment, although there has been times that they have been habitated with sealers, and then there has been some pastoral and farming done there, but nobody lives there now, and they are protected with a nature reserve status. But what this bill will do is protect the seas around them. And that's particularly important because these islanders are known particularly as important seabird breeding areas, particularly of the albatross, but also petrels, penguins, shags, and also, surprisingly enough, the Antipodes parakeet, which is a brightly coloured parakeet which seems sometimes out of a place on these cold and windswept islands. For a matter of interest, they're also well known for their mega herbs, and these are enormous plants, colourful flowers that are a little bit like desert flowerings. They come all together and these magnificent herbs, mega herbs, across the islands. Now, they had been eaten down in the past, but since the protected area, they've now been flourishing. Just for a matter of interest, this is a similar model to what we've done with the Auckland Islands, with protecting both the land and the water, and that seems to have been particularly successful. So the Local Government and Environment Select Committee are looking forward to dealing with this bill. We are very keen and enthusiastic to get it right, and so we're hoping that maybe Parliament might insist that we take a trip to these islands as a Select Committee visit. Thank you.
That would be good. I call the Honourable Member Grant Robertson.
To take